Right then, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We have had a little bit of an issue there with the workings of our new intro video. I promise you that will be fixed very, very shortly, hopefully in time for the next couple of streams coming up. But yes, at least you've been given a little bit of a peek preview of it. It is very, very good. Owen's done an absolutely fantastic job on it at the moment, but unfortunately not quite working as it would ideally. But you know, that's not an issue. We can change that another time. So, getting into it, let's have a look. Where are we? Oh, yes, of course. We are at Paul Ricard. Everyone's least favourite French track by a long way. I'd much prefer Magny-Cours, but here we are. Paul Ricard is warm, I expect. It has been on the practice servers so far, and I expect it will continue to stay that way pretty much the whole time, because for some reason that's kind of just how southern France is. It's very warm all the time and no one can stop it. But here we are, it is round 2 of the Rookie Wednesday season. Of course, the big thing about the GT layout of Paul Ricard is that they don't do the faffy chicane halfway down the Mulsanne. It's just a flat out run all the way to that right-hander at the end of the straight. And that means that these cars are, well, it's one of the rare occasions where we see these cars properly top out. You know, we're pulling a good 260, 270 kilometers an hour down towards that right-hander. So expect the high speeds and the high temperatures to be causing these drivers to be put through a lot of discomfort on their tyres. The undercut might, for the first time, work in the Rookie Wednesday season. But I tell you, a man who might be able to talk to us a little bit more about that is my co-commentator Julius. Julius, welcome back to the commentators box.
Hello and thank you, Olly. And hello for the viewers. Last time we had Tom Dussel winning in Silverstone, but Tom has been moved off from the championship because basically he was too quick. And so as it stands, we're looking the Christian Fleischmann, who last week finished second, and now he's leading the championship. But he said in the post-race interview that Paul Ricard is not one of his best tracks, but we gotta look for that. So, and I agree with Magny-Cours here.
Yeah.
Nice to be back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we have got another action-packed week of racing coming up for you guys. Of course, this is just the beginning of the week at TOGA. I know, it feels a bit weird to be saying that the beginning of the week is on a Wednesday, but this is the first series that we run. Obviously, tomorrow evening, we've got the Multi-Class Season 2. Then, have we got anything on this Friday? I don't think we do we?
In Friday actually starts Porsche Cup.
Yes, Porsche Cup, of course. Yes. Let me pull up Mac's handy commentator calendar thing that he puts out at the start of the week, because that is genuinely the only way I ever know what's happening. Where did he put it? Does he just put it in Gen Chat normally?
I don't remember where he put it. I just remember he wrongly spelled my name again. Yeah, and he wrongly named me once again. This time today I'm Julius, but in Friday I'm Julian, so...
Julian, yes.
Thanks,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I've seen. Ah, here we go, I found it. Ah, it's in live streams, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so obviously we're here for Season 6 of the Rookie Championship, myself and Julius. Tomorrow is the Multi-Class Championship, which myself and Julius are racing in, so Mac is doing commentary for that tomorrow evening. Friday evening we've got the Porsche Cup, with Mac and Julian commentating that. Julius, sorry, it's on the schedule and I'm just reading it out. And then on Sunday, the 22nd, we've got the 24 in 2.4, sorry. So it's 24 hours of racing in 144-minute individual races. Not too sure who's going to be commentating on that at the moment. Unfortunately, it finishes quite late for a lot of us, whether you're in the UK or on mainland EU.
Yeah, it's actually crossovering with Formula 1, so it's bad for, at least for me. So
Well, the reason I don't commentate it is because it wouldn't finish until 11 p.m. my time, and that's normally after I've gone to bed. So I say normally because some nights I'm like a night owl and I'll be awake until like 1 or 2 in the morning. But mostly, oh, Max dead. Max back in the pit lane, racing in the 666 McLaren this week. A bit of a change for him. Obviously, he started the series in the Mercedes, but found that it wasn't working for him. So he has decided to jump ship, has moved back to his ever faithful McLaren, which he has driven quite a lot before.
let's see how that works out.
Yeah,
I did the other way around. I started here in TOGA with McLaren, and then I jumped ship to Mercedes. So
yeah.
Mac is doing me, but backwards.
Good to see both of the Belgium racing team cars here this week. I'm sure they'll make an appearance in the YouTube chat. They normally do. The Belgium racing team boys have been taking part in TOGA events for quite a while. They're always very friendly, always very kind.
And fast.
Show B Ritz, please. Yeah, I am. See, I knew that the Belgium racing team boys would be in here. What did I say? He's there, the number 6 and the number 7 Aston Martins, respectively, the Belgium racing team boys. Oh, Max died again. Oh, no, he hasn't. It said it was a yellow flag. He must have been slowing down to let someone through. Oh, he's dead. Who's that? Someone's had a crash. A couple of people have had crashes. Oh, there's yellow flags all over the shop. Yeah, this is what I'm expecting to be a little bit crazy, especially with the first sector here. Lots of very tight corners, lots of tight corners that all kind of feed into each other. Lots of braking, but still relatively high speed for a lot of this first sector. I have a funny feeling that we might be seeing a red flag here. I don't know what you're thinking, Julius, but I think we may well end up seeing a red flag in this race.
I'm 100% agreeing there. I mean, the first sector, the first 2 corners is gonna be a bit, at least when you're in the middle pack, because there's like the biggest traffic jam, so, and everyone wanna make positions, so I hope there's no, but I just gotta say I do believe there will be.
However, unlike Hayden last week, I'm not going to put my money where my mouth is. So no free memberships this stream, unfortunately, unless Hayden wants to turn up and take himself 15 quid out of pocket again. I'm not going to do that, unfortunately.
I gotta take one thing from last week back to the table. We saw battle between Priatko, Vuorinen and Perry. Those really stole the show. But they all made some sort of contact last week, and I'm not actually seeing them right now. Only Perry, but...
Yeah, we got a 29 car grid. There are quite a few people who were here last week.
Yeah, but I doesn't see Vuorinen and Priatko.
No, you're right. I don't see Priatko either, or Vuorinen. You're very right.
And they had the big fight with Perry. They had the 3-way battle last weekend.
Ah, yes, where they all decided to kill each other instead of fighting.
Yes.
Yes, I do remember that one actually. Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird one at Silverstone. There was like no contact for the whole of the first lap.
Yes.
And then it went crazy after that.
Yeah, and one situation was, I don't say it was Mac caused, but it was Mac caused.
No, that stuff at turn 1, that wasn't Mac. I've watched the replay of it. Mac spun on his own, and then the people behind him had a crash and all spun at the same time. So they did like synchronized spinning. But Mac wasn't
Yeah.
the cause of any of the crashes.
Yeah, he didn't make contact, but I was thinking that they spun because they was reacting to Mac.
No, yeah, there was a um, there was a Porsche. I think it might have been a couple of Porsches actually that had contact into turn one.
Yeah, and it was weird. They made all synced spin.
Yeah, yeah, they all span at the same time. It was a really odd thing to watch happen live, because it looked like someone had just looked like someone had momentarily installed Arava's zero grip hack. You know the zero grip mod he uses sometimes. It looked like someone had just like momentarily switched that on and then turned it straight back off again, because everyone just spun all at the same second.
It was weird. It was very weird.
We are now watching a person who's supposedly called W. McLaren, but whose name in their namer tag is very much not saying W. McLaren.
And also last time when we raced in Silverstone, there was one man who kind of went into his own category. Bruno Bataclin qualified in P10. Then started in the pit lane and finished in P9.
Yeah, Bruno had an incredible race. It's really interesting to see. I don't know how much people have been watching the Rookie Wednesday Championship, but if you watched last season and you watched this season, the difference in Bruno's driving style and cleanliness is massive. Last season he was quite prone to mistakes, his pace wasn't quite 100% there, and he was causing a couple of crashes. You know, nothing major. He wasn't like, you know, purposefully taking people out, but he was the cause of a couple of crashes in the last season. If Silverstone was anything to go by, Bruno has had a massive turnaround in terms of how he drives. What is that guy doing? As, Cray goes to the top of the timing board. The number 8 Audi, he was incredibly fast. Hey, that's a really nice livery, you know. Too bad that it's for a streaming platform we don't use, so I'm going to focus on that car as little as possible. Oh, there's been a crash on course already. Pippi and Meekin have had a crash.
And one thing coming back to Bataclin is that without the start in the pit lane, I'm wondering what would be his position in the race, because there was the Prietko situation, Vuorinen and Perry.
Yeah. I mean, his pace was incredible. And to come back through the grid from last in what at the start of the race was a 38 car field, to come through 29 cars, right?
That's very impressive.
In what is only a 50-minute race, is crazy. You know? Like, you don't see that kind of thing happen. He was absolutely clinical in making his moves.
And there wasn't any big crashes what would have helped him. He made passes, and probably he had a very good strategy with pitting but it was very impressive.
Yeah, he didn't benefit from other people. Didn't benefit from other people spinning, and car number 1 has just been disqualified by race control. Now, car number 1 was that McLaren that I was just talking about a minute ago, W. McLaren. He's now parked in the pit lane. I believe he went out on track and purposefully crashed into the wall down at the end of Sector 1 before that ban came through, before that disqualification came through. So we'll wait and see what the incident outcome is for that. But it is weird that he's been disqualified. In fact, I tell you what, rather than waiting to find out, I'll ping one of the mods and find out why. Because I can see that they're all sat in the chat, so let's ask. Yeah, so this very nice looking, admittedly, number 1 McLaren. Those black accents really look brilliant on that car. Follow the lines of that McLaren really well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car.
But I am just going to find out from Owen why he had been... Yes, yeah, so he's been disqualified due to basically just not following driving standards in the practice session, otherwise known as he cut the track a bunch and then yorted it into a wall on purpose. So that's why he's been disqualified.
Oh.
Yes. Not following the driving standards is just the technical... it's just the steward's technical term for it. I don't do that steward technical stuff, I just say it how it is. More fun that way.
From this point, it's very hard to say, like, who's gonna be the, like, expectation number 1.
Well, yeah,
we have Cray in P1 with 9/10, but it's only a practice, so.
Yeah, I think also how a driver drives these cars is going to be really important for his race, because it'll be interesting to see how much people go for tyre conservation and how much people just go flat out, because I mean you're never gonna burn through a set of tyres in 50 minutes. Even at Paul Ricard when it's really hot. It's just not going to happen. But knowing that you have to make a pit stop, do you go all out and just chuck the pit stop bang in the middle? Or do you conserve your tyres, pit late, and then go properly full out very much to the end, you know? It's always a difficult one to call.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I have personally missed some pits, and last week in multiclass we both actually had some issues in Guali, so it is very important for these guys today to nail it.
Oh, we don't have a camera that's really going to show off this livery, which is disappointing. Oh, there we go, we can see all of it now. This livery I love on this McLaren, the number 19 McLaren. Look at that. Red Bull logo, I'm here for it. Apex Racing, yeah. Doesn't surprise me that livery's come from those guys. The Apex Racing lot, they're good lads. But yeah, good luck to you guys over at Belgian Racing Team. We're always happy to see you guys on the grid. We know that you bring a high quality, clean racing, which is always brilliant to have on the grid. We can just about see both cars in shot right now. In fact, if I move to Ritz, I'm sure we'd be able to see them both better. Yeah, we can. Those gold and black Aston Martin Vantage V8s being rolled out by the Belgian Racing Team again. And there we go. That is the end of qualifying. Not qualifying, that was the practice session. Don't listen to me. I'm getting far too excited. But here we go. We are now into qualifying with 15 minutes on the clock. It's all going to be about who can extract the most of that 1 lap pace, because that's all they've got. Well, kind of. Generally you do multiple laps of qualifying, but it's still about extracting the most out of the car in that short amount of time.
So we have 29 cars today.
Yeah.
And still I don't see Prietko or Vuorinen.
No, I think this is going to be it for today, unless someone joins late in the qualifying session. But the man who finished second last time out, Christian, is he's not had such a good run so far this race, and he did say that. He did say that Silverstone was pretty much his best track, and that as much as it looked like he wasn't rookie pace, he very much would be when we got to Paul Ricard. So it's going to be interesting to see just how much his pace is affected by the track. Obviously everyone has good tracks and bad tracks. There's no one that performs to the same level across every single track unless you're like a wizard or
Yes.
have like hacks.
Yeah, that's true.
But I have a
So-
funny feeling that we're going to see a very big game of who can be in the tow coming down the Mulsanne. Because there is time to be gained if you're in the tow coming through, coming along with that. Wow, I think these cars are flat out for it's just over a kilometre down the Mulsanne. So they're flat out for just over a kilometre. So having the slipstream from the car in front could be a massive gain.
Yeah, it could be.
And I think especially if you're in a car that's got a little bit less top speed, something like a BMW or a Bentley.
Yeah, that will help those cars out.
Although saying that,
BMW.
we've only got 2 BMWs on the grid. We don't have any Bentleys. Where's Jones? Has he graduated? Has he been moved out forcefully of the rookie series? That's disappointing. I guess I can't blame them. But yeah, so the first. Oh.
In P3 last week we had Brackstad or Backstad. I believe it was Brackstad. So if Christian can't work his way up here, we might have him in the lead because Brackstad had a.
I don't think. Oh no, Brackstad is in the session in that number 75 Porsche.
Yes.
Although you've got to say, the Porsche is a difficult drive around here, and Backstad as well in the 123 Porsche is here. But yeah, the Porsche is not the easiest car around Paul Ricard. A car that is very loose at the rear end, and Paul Ricard has a lot of sustained corners, which might be a little bit difficult for these guys. Although saying that, Christian's driving the McLaren, which is no better. So.
Yes, that's actually true.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's try and boost that like count. Sitting at 8 at the moment. Can we try and push for 15 by the time qualifying's over? You got 11 minutes to get it up there. I reckon we can do it. Keep the likes coming in. And ladies and gentlemen, the big news this week at TOGA Motorsport, and I guess last week, is that we have hit our third and final subscriber goal that is linked to the 6-hour community race that we will be doing in the new year. For those of you who have been here with TOGA for a while, you'll know that Mac and myself decided to set up a challenge where if we hit 2,000 subscribers, we would do a solo 6-hour race with the rest of the TOGA community, who would all be doing it in teams. We realised that kind of wouldn't be enough, so we said, okay, well, we'll push the boat out. If we get to 2,500, and that's never going to happen, we'll do it in the Jag GT3, which hasn't been updated for the last 8 updates and is horrifically slow. And then we thought, well, you know what, if we're going to make stuff that's never going to happen, why don't we say if we get to 3,000 subscribers, Mac will do the whole race with pedal cam on and in pink shorts, and Ollie will do the whole race in a suit. And then our good friend Julius turned up and started doing comms with us as well, and he agreed that he'd get in on some of this 6-hour Jaguar Pain action. And then we went through about 3 weeks where we just gained subscribers at an atrocious rate, and I mean, like, we were gaining 300 or 400 subscribers a day, and at that point we realised, oh god, we're actually going to have to do this. And
just to top out, it's in Bathurst, probably.
Yes, we gave the community the choice between 4 tracks, and currently Bathurst has more than triple the votes of any other track that we offered.
So
right,
basically,
anyways, let's look
worst
back at,
car.
Yeah,
worst track.
car at what will be probably the worst track for it because it's got no downforce.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's have a look back at the qualifying boards at the moment. At the moment, Cray in that kick Audi, the number 8 car, is sat in first place with Christian.
But now
just
Christian doing
2
better.
tenths behind him now. although these times still aren't necessarily brilliant. But again, I think that's because if you look at the sky, it's very clear, and therefore the track is going to be very hot. Behind them in P3 at the moment is the 888 McLaren. God, that car looks incredible. Of Fozl Alim, who I believe unfortunately had a game disconnect last week and was forced out of the lobby. Disappointing for him, but he currently sits in P3, just over 5/10 off the pace. Then we got Backstad in the 1-2-3. Oh, I'll be quiet. Bataglin, Bruno Bataglin in that 403 BMW now moves up into P3, going ahead of Fozl Alim in the 888 McLaren. Then we got Backstad in the 1-2-3 pink and black Porsche. That car looking very nice as well, I've got to admit. Then we've got Pizzato in the 94 navy blue Ferrari. It feels a bit weird saying that a Ferrari's navy blue, but here we are. He's now moved up to, and Brackstad goes fastest. Brackstad in the yellow. Is it yellow?
But Cray is green. Almost 5/10 up right now, which would put him in the pole if he can nail this lap.
Yeah, absolutely. With only one sector left to go, how does Cray in that kick number 8 Audi manage to hold together? Oh, it's almost over the track limits on the exit of the right-hander. I don't know how on earth he's managed to keep that within track limits. Walking the line there. But now almost 6/10 up, and he invalidates. He invalidates.
Oh.
But the pace is there. The pace is massively there for Cray. As I say that, Backstad now goes fastest in the 1-2-3 Porsche, so clearly those guys aren't having too much issue wrestling the Porsche under control. Let's have a look further down the order. Boot has gone up to P6 in the number 86 Mercedes. He was a man who had a little bit of misfortune in the first round of Silverstone as well. He found himself involved in a little bit of contact and then was unfortunately just basically at the back of the pack for the whole race. Which will have been disappointing for him, not what he would have wanted at all.
There's Perry 7/10 up now.
I'm looking at Mac. Mac's almost 5/10 up. It would only find him one position, but it would be a massive time gain. I will keep up with what's going on at the top of the order as well. But yeah, that McLaren is not an easy drive. Or, again, another driver that goes very, very close to invalidating through that right-hander at the end of the Mulsanne straight.
And Cray is now going for the pole.
Yeah, he's not the only one though. There are cars improving behind Cray as well. And Cray would need to find a little bit more actually. Compared to his last lap, he is not that far up.
No, he lost it.
No, yeah, too late on the brakes, too deep. Unless he can find 3/10 in these final two corners, he's going to have to do another run. But with only 4 minutes left to go, I'm not sure if he'll be able to get his tyres in the right place. He'd need a find of at least 2.5 tenths to move up a position. But this could just be defence as well, because Hermela...
We've got a new subscriber.
We have a
legend and
7/10
to the channel.
Yo, Mattias Storm. Thank you for being here. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting what we do here in the TOGA community. All of that money that you guys do use when you subscribe is being reinvested straight away into more servers, better stream elements, custom designs for stuff. It is all reinvested straight into this community. We do not take any percentage of the subscribers, of the subscriber amount that we get given, and it's the same if you guys were to donate. We don't take any of the money from that stuff. It is all straight away reinvested into everyone who drives here at TOGA Motorsport, because we feel that's the only proper way to handle things. You know, we're here to make great racing for as many people as possible, and the only way to do that is to reinvest the money that we get given. You know, we're not gonna take any of it. It's not worth our time to take any of it. We just want to create the best racing atmosphere for as many of you guys as possible who will love this brilliant game. So all of that money is straight away reinvested. But thank you so much, Matthias. That is the first time I've ever had someone subscribe whilst on whilst live. But that is that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for showing your support for TOGA.
Triple Eight McLaren is gaining 4 tenths for now.
Yeah, hold on. We've got a fight coming between Backstad and Brackstad. Brackstad is almost 2 tenths up. He only needs to find 9/100ths to get to that top point. This could be very, very close between the two Porsches, the 123 and the 75. Of course, they're not the only two. There's one more. There's 3 more, actually. But these guys are the fight at the front. Now 3 tenths gained. He loses a little bit on the exit. But now coming through Sector 3, gains that time back already as Bruno Battaglin comes out of nowhere, puts himself P2, only half a tenth away from Backstad in the 123 Porsche. Here we go, we're into the dying minutes of qualifying now. If you haven't started a lap, you're not going to be able to fit one in before too much longer. But here we go, Brackstad coming around the final corner. It's a 5/10 find. That's diminishing though rapidly down to 3 tenths, but it is going to be pole, I believe, for Brackstad in the 75 Porsche. A 155-1.
I think we still have to watch the Audi of Gray. He's shown he can do it, but he had 2 laps which weren't.
Yeah, 2 laps invalidated.
This lap doesn't look that great, though.
Wasim McLaren Mukal, you got disqualified from the practice session because you cut the track a bunch and then you drove into a wall on purpose. Is why you got disqualified from the practice session. It's pretty standard for that to happen. The idea of a practice session is that you go out and practice. Your wheel fell off your desk. I find that hard to believe because you were still accelerating. If your wheel had fallen off your desk, you would have come to a stop rather than continue to accelerate and putting the other people on track at risk. So unfortunately, I find that one hard to believe. But Cray, he's still not able to gain. He can't quite hook the lap together. It's just not working for him at the moment.
And Christian is going to soon take his place, because Christian is 2 tenths up.
Will it be enough?
Oh,
Christian needs to find some time through this final sector, but he goes around.
Whoa.
Christian invalidates, loses it all, unfortunately for him. And he's now going to have to watch out, because I tell you who is gaining time is the number 86 car of the...
And also Triple Eight.
Yeah, the Triple Eight car of Fawzul Alim as well. Look, unfortunately, Wasim, no, I know you don't accelerate with your wheel, but if you didn't have control of your car, you'd hit the brakes. Can we get... Is there someone in a mod? Someone's a mod in here, aren't they? Daryl, I know that you're here. Can you do something about this guy? Can you just, like, time him out or block him from the chat? Because I'm not going to have that kind of negativity being spread in chat because he was being an idiot. If not, Julius, do you think you could head into the steward's room chat and ping one of them, please, to get this guy out, because he's just being immensely... Look, mate, I understand that you're annoyed that you got DQ'd, but it's because of your own stupid actions, okay? Don't start having a go at us here because we're trying to run a healthy racing environment when you can't brake when you lose control of your car. Believe me, mate, if people were regularly asking me to change something, I would. But people have said that they're happy with how this stream is, and that's how it's going to stay. It's worked for me for ages, and it's going to continue to work for me, unfortunately. I would believe your comment about streaming in 480p, but I know that I'm not, so I'm just not going to listen to you because you're wrong.
Yeah, now he's gone.
Yep, there we go. That makes everyone's life a little bit easier.
So we have Braxtad
Thank you,
and
Chess.
Backstad.
Here we go. We start now the countdown to the main event. Yeah, do you want to do a little run down the grid?
Yeah, we can do it. So in pole we have Braxtad. In P2 we have Backstad. Then in P3 Bruno Bataclin. Then we have a McLaren of Hammerly. Audi in P5 of Gray. And Christian in P6. Harshana in the BMB in P7. Then we have Pizzota in P8. Perry in P9. Boot rounds up the top 10. In P11 we have Pippi. And then the 888 McLaren of Fatul Alem. And in P13 we have a Gregorelli. In P14 it's Williams. P15 is The Gamer. Then we have Konchek and Mac in P17. It's good lap from him. We have David in P18, Dempsey in P19, and Christiansen in P20. Engdahl in 21, Mark Meekan in P22, yes.
Yeah.
Then we have 93 of Khan. And then it's Rich in the Aston. Those Astons really fall off in Guali. 20th and 24th, so...
Yeah, not the qualifying session that the Belgian racing boys were looking for, I don't expect. Unfortunate for them, but...
Yeah, then in P25 we have Yeshan. In 26 we have Che. 27th is Galenko, Phillips, and then we have a Chabo.
Tyres were dead after one quali lap. Track is just way too hot, says Dexter Morgan. Let's have a look. Can I find him here? Unless you've got a different last name in game, I don't know who you are, mate, unfortunately.
I'm pretty sure he's in Audi. I'm not sure, but...
Right, anyways, here we go. It's Cray in game. Yeah, you're right. How on earth did you know that? That's mental.
I have my...
You have your sources, yeah.
Yeah. I made the list with
10
the
seconds
names
until we start the formation lap. It's going to be a long one, and I doubt it's going to be very quick because these guys are going to be trying to conserve their tyres from the very get-go. Yes, warming up the tyres, I doubt is going to be much of an issue for for everyone here at the moment. Also, I've just realised that I've got my platforms mixed around, because on Twitch you follow someone and then subscribe to pay, but here you're a subscriber and then you become a member. What I said about all the money going back into the channel and going back into the community is still very true, but not when you become a subscriber, because you don't have to pay for that. It's if you join TOGA as a member, that's when it's paid. For just £2.40 something a month. I think it's £2.48. Let me find out, hold on. Yeah, it costs £2.40. I was bang on. But yeah, this formation lap is going to take a long time because these guys just don't want to take anything out of their tyres. I mean, look at Braxton. He's not even weaving. He's just driving in a straight line because I think the temperatures on their own are enough to get the tyres to the right PSI.
So this will be interesting, really, to see what happens then.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit mental.
But just as we spoke about the tackling, and there he is in P3.
Yeah, brilliant qualifying result.
And Christian in P4.
Tiddly Osprey saying he's accidentally put 33 litres, he wanted to do like 45 to 50. So that's at least one person who's doing an early pit stop, unfortunately.
Hopefully he can make to the point where pits actually opens.
I think it's only 5 it's only like 5 or 7 minutes before the pit windows open, so we'll be able to get there. But it does mean he's going to have to do a long stint on those second set of tyres.
Yeah, that's true.
Either that or he's going to have to do the ultra big fuel save to start with. And we have got a car.
Model 5.
We've got a car starting in the pit lane. It's the 992, numbered 992, because it is the Porsche 992. Sabo starting in the pit lane will have missed the ready up, and unfortunately is now starting from the pit lane. But here we come through the final corners. Let's switch to the helicam because the helicam is goated for race starts, especially when you've got a long old straight like this. Here we go, coming around the final corner, getting ready to go. We are 2 by 2, coming towards the first corners in just a short time. Let's have a look. They're all sat at that 70 km/h mark. When do we go green? There's the green, and we've got 2 cars with drive-throughs. One of them's Cray, and one of them is the 513 car of Harshana. Both of those cars inside the top 10 have got drive-throughs immediately for being out of position on race start. That means they were too far forward in their boxes when everything got going. Oh, and there's chaos at turn 1. We've got... Oh, this is going to be a red flag. I expect this will be a red flag.
Yeah, massive.
We've lost... we've got 5 or 6 cars that have been affected, but I think only 3 went around. I think everyone else has cut the track, so we might stay green here. We might stay green.
No changes in the lead.
Yeah, nothing changes at the front. Nothing.
Christian actually dropped.
But there's a lot going on behind. I think Christian was involved. Oh no, Mac was involved at turn 1. Mac down in 27th. Massively unfortunate for him. Christian just inside the top 10 now. He's still making moves though, up to P9 ahead of the number 86 Mercedes of Boot. But at the front it is still very, very close. These cars separated by just over a second. The top 4. The 2 Porsches out the front, followed dutifully by Bruno Battiglin in the 403 BMW, and behind them the 24 McLaren of Hermela. This is going to be a long race and a long battle between these 2 Porsches. I have a funny feeling, Julius.
Yeah, I'm down to you.
Oh,
I think so.
Harshana goes round. Oh, the Belgian racing team. Oh, there is big contact through that penultimate corner. 3 cars out. 3 cars involved in that incident. And there's more at the final corner. As again, side-by-side contact. This is not as clean a race as we saw last time out.
And Gray goes for the drive-through he had.
Yeah, unfortunate for Cray to effectively be taken out of the running this early on.
Yeah.
But this does mean that Perry is now in P5, the number 808 car, making up for the unfortunate events of the last couple of laps that was Silverstone.
Yeah. This P5. And he was in P9. So 4 places made.
Yeah, also set the fastest opening lap of the race overall.
Yeah, there must be in the top 4. Everyone had to invalidate it.
It'll be interesting to see where we go from here. Hermela dropping off the back of that leading pack. Unfortunate for him, but we do have a battle opening up behind the number 25 of Christian, who really needs to get to the front of this pack if he wants to hold on to his championship lead. At the moment, I believe both Brackstad and Backstad will overtake him, finishing first and second with Christian down in 8th. So
yeah,
the championship, yeah, it would, absolutely. So I think the championship at that point would read Brackstad, Backstad, Christian. Then I believe Battiglin would overtake Perry, who would be in 5th, the same as he currently is in the race.
Probably something like that, but now watching, Battiglin is making Backstad's life very hard here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you know, these guys are following each other very closely, and that's possibly something that with the temperatures as hot as they are, you don't want to do, because being in that dirty air is just going to kill your tyres more than what is already happening. As here we look down in P17, and the Belgian racing team car of Ritz is unfortunately losing more and more positions. Down to P17 now. It is again on where he qualified due to the incidents that have happened ahead, but losing positions to the cars around him as it stands.
Backstad very close to Brackstad.
Yeah, and pulling away, Bruno Battiglin at some point has made a mistake. Although saying
he lost the speed in the straight.
Through this final sector, he's making up a little bit of that time. He needs to stay within a second if he wants to keep the toe. It's such a massive effect around here, especially down the Mulsanne and down the start-finish straight. And losing that toe can really, really cost you. So he's going to stay in there. Hello, what have I missed? What's happening?
Backstad went a little bit wide. Nothing too bad, but it seemed worse than it was.
Yeah, that's dropped Battiglin back into that slipstream again. And this is what I'm talking about. The slipstream is so crucial around here at Paul Ricard that you really need to keep on top of whether the cars around you are in it or out of it. As Battiglin, I think, has gone in a little bit hot into turn 1. Indeed he has. He's lost that time again back outside the toe. But more importantly, Brackstad in the green and black number 75 Porsche has almost cleared, and now he has cleared Backstad. If he can get out of the toe, I have a funny feeling that Brackstad is going to run away with this race. But at the moment, Backstad is just holding on. 0.8 is the gap. Anything outside of a second and you lose the effect of that toe.
And Battiglin has lost it in terms of toe.
Yeah, he has, absolutely.
That first corner just ruined his chance.
Galenko has gone around. Let's have a little look at what's happened here. Get the replay running. Coming down towards turn 1, has there been contact with the car behind, or has he just gone too deep on his own? No, he's spun. Oh, he's spun on the exit, taken too much curbing through turn 2. and has spun, thankfully not collected
Oh.
any other cars. But now showing us a yellow flag again
Yeah, for Kalenko.
for Galenko. Yeah, and again he's gone around again. Those rear tyres, very unhappy with how hot they are at the moment. And Brackstead has gotten Backstad out of the tow. This is going to be massive for him. Brackstad just going faster every lap at the moment. He was about 2/10 up. He lost a little bit coming through the final corner. But out of the tow range is the number 123 Porsche. And that's going to be very reassuring as Pippi is going for a move on Christian. Christian forces Pippi over the exit curbs out of the final corner, but I doubt that'll be the last we see of that. At the same time, Williams goes for a move on Pizzato down towards turn 1. It's Ferrari versus McLaren. Number 99, number 26 versus number 94, sorry. Here we go. Is Williams going to hold it up the inside into turn 1? Indeed he does, unless the Ferrari can get the switch back through 2 or hang it around the outside. Brilliant driving from Pizzato to hold it around the outside of turn 2. And Williams for now is not going to gain that place. The same goes for Pippi, who has had to stay behind Christian as of right now. However, this battle for P10 is now a 4-car battle. Just over 2 seconds separating all of those guys as Ritz makes a move for P15. Moving up the order now is the Belgian racing team driver. I'm sure the boys in chat will be happy to see that. They normally are. Oh, and there's contact and they both go round. I missed that because I momentarily looked at chat to see if they were talking to me. Because normally the second one of their cars show up on stream, they get pretty excited. What's happened here is the McLaren... What a stupid move from the McLaren. What, that was just utterly brain dead from Yeshan in the number 19 McLaren. He's just sent it up the inside into the hairpin at the end of sector 1. I expect we'll see a penalty being given out for that one. Sorry, Julius, I'm suddenly realising that I've just done a lot of talking.
I'm watching actually the possible penalties, and here is ruling the 5 second for car 666, which is Mac. So I think the reason he dropped in the start was due to some contact.
Yes, yeah, there was contact at turn 1.
Yes. And then there's 5 seconds coming for car number 93, which is Khan.
Williams lunged up the inside of Pizzato there. He went off track and I think has gained a better run out of the final corner by doing so. So we might see a penalty coming here unless Pizzato can have a better run through turn 1 and turn 2 like he did last time. This time he sets it up for the switchback and he goes... Oh, gets a little bit sideways but manages to keep it going, and it's going to be a position gained for Adrianson in the Belgian racing team number 7 car, not the number 6, as holy mother of sens from De Gamer doesn't make it work this time out. He's going to have to stay behind. I am keeping touch with what's happening at the front. Don't worry guys, I just want to show you the battles that are happening live on screen right now. Yeah, we haven't
Christian can't make up those positions. He's still in 8.
Yeah, and he's not really gaining on the guys in front. He took a 10th out of the car in front last lap, well, half a tenth.
Yeah.
This lap is a little bit more. Boots has made a couple more mistakes. He's lost about 6/10 this lap compared to Christian. So
But
he is
when
gaining
thinking
this
in
time.
the front for like Perry, he's not gaining. He's losing from 1st to 5. So...
Yeah, we'll wait and see towards the end of this race, obviously, if people have decided to do tyre saving.
Yeah,
anything
can happen.
Yeah, if people have decided to do tyre saving, they might have better pace towards the end of the race, or towards the end of their stint, just due to having more life left in the tyres. But I think pretty much everyone will have gone out with the mindset of let's just push and see what happens, which, you know, valid mindset.
Because with his pace, if Christian keeps this up, he can maybe have a fight with Alem for P6, but with this pace, it doesn't seem like. So he had the hope for something to happen.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think, there's still a long way left in this race. We are...
Yeah, it is.
Adrianson's gone around. The number 7 the Belgian racing team driver has had an incident. Let's hit the rewind button. We're going to jump back 30 seconds and see what's happened here. Coming through turn 2, everything was good.
Brackstad have come back to Brackstad under second.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that in just a second. I just want to see what has happened to Adrianson. Oh, yeah, he's just carried too much speed into that right-left section where you can really yacht it through the curbs and slow down all the way through the corners. Just looped it on his own, dropped a few positions. That's going to be disappointing for him. Backstad, though, now back out of that range again. He's made a big mistake somewhere through the lap and is a second and a half down.
He went bit wide and Bataklin got a bit closer. So now Bataklin is under the second.
15-second penalty for car number 7. That's for Adrianson. That is that's the car we were just watching. Currently sits in P14. He picks up a 15-second penalty. We got 5 seconds coming for the number 93 car.
Which is Khan.
We'll wait and see if that goes to 10. It might. No, it stays as 5. 15.
For Dempsey.
Yeah, 10-second penalty for car number 15. I'm trying to find all of these guys to show you. And then we got a 5-second penalty for car number 26. I expect that'll jump to a 10-second penalty. Indeed it does.
That's Williams. In P10.
Yeah, indeed it is. Oh no, that's Sade as a 5-second actually.
Now Bataklin under second for Backstad, and Backstad dropped to 2.5. He had a bad first and last sector last time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because now Bataklin is gaining, he has to tow. But the problem is, even with the tow in BMW, you still not actually gaining, you just kind of keeping the pace at the same.
Car
And
number
there's track
74
limits.
has picked up a drive-through penalty for track limits. That's Meekan, who currently is ahead of Mac, not for much longer. Pit window is now open. 7 laps completed. We'll see, does anyone dive in this early? I don't think they will. They've only done 16 minutes on these tyres. Doing another 34 minutes would be immensely painful, and you'd be on a lot of heavy fuel to get to the end of this race. So I doubt we'll see anyone hopping in right now, but give it another 2, possibly 3 laps. Yes, give it another 6 minutes or so, and I reckon we'll see people starting to come in. As Cray's gone round,
Yeah,
on
I
his
thought
own.
so.
Up at the top, I think it was on his own, wasn't it? Although also round is Gregorelli. Let's have a look. I think Cray was on his own, but Gregorelli, there might have been contact. Let's have a look. Gregorelli, does he just drop it on his own? Yeah, again, just
And
dropping it on his own.
There's drive-through for boot in P7 from track limits also.
Yellow flags
Car 86.
momentarily for VJ, but that's just because he's got ping of about 1,000, so keeps on teleporting off track and all over the place. God, his ping is shocking. We're going to need to sort that out. Yellow flags for Meekan. He cuts the track. I think he got the wrong pit entry. Now gets the correct pit entry. Spins coming into the pit lane.
Oh.
And
We also
now
have
going to serve his
another
drive-through.
DT for boot in P7.
So that'll boost Christian, who's dropped 6 seconds off the back of that car.
Yeah.
Oh, he lost Christian lost 3 seconds last lap to boot. A massive mistake for Christian on that last lap, clearly.
Yeah. And also Bataklin was 3 seconds. Now the gap between him and Backstad is 3 seconds. And last lap it was under second, so...
Yeah, he's lost a couple of seconds in the last 2 laps. Really unfortunate for him. I think Bataglin's
It
pace was
might
really
also
promising.
be that Backstad and Brackstad are again pushing a little bit, and Brackstad actually comes in.
See,
So
now,
our leader comes in.
I'd say that
With
that's a
early pit
little bit
stop.
early.
Yeah.
But is he thinking
was
that the
good.
fresher tyres now will gain him the advantage, and then he can
But
just
he
tyre
is
save at the end?
dropping. But it seems like he's dropping into some traffic. So I don't know if that was a good call. Touching the track map, it
I think
seems
with
like
how
he
long
is
the
going.
pit stop is here, because he's going to be stationary for another 40 seconds or so, and then he's still got a lot of this pit lane left to go before he can get off the pit limiter. I reckon he's going to come out behind everyone. In fact, I would argue, I think, that he's timed this pretty much perfectly. I think he's going to come out behind everyone and be in completely clean air.
Let's see. Now there's.
Oh,
Okay.
Gregorelli goes round. Oh, Max involved in that one as well. Is he waiting for Gregorelli?
That was actually a good stop.
I think he's trying to.
Painting some dark
Yes, Mac
picture.
is waiting for Gregorelli because that was his fault.
Actually, Brackstad, in a beautiful cap, he has like 5 to 6 seconds clean air ahead. Oh, this was actually a good call.
Has he come out in completely clean air?
Yeah, he has 5 to 6 seconds ahead. So yes, I have this weird, not weird, but this issue with Formula 1, thinking like the pit stop are so fast, and then here it took like minute. So it's sometimes.
Yeah, it's a completely
Just
different
caught
world in
up with
terms
him.
of
Yeah.
pit stops, isn't it? Oh,
If you
as we've
think
got side by side, Ritz versus
and
Craig.
Brackstad comes in.
Oh,
Also
Ritz,
same with Pateron.
Ritz loses the time. He's got a lot of damage on the front of that Aston Martin. That hood is flapping all over the place. That's got to be
And
10
now
or
we
15
have-
seconds of damage.
We have now Hammerle and Perry in the lead.
Yeah,
Brackstad and also Pateron both came in.
we've got a battle coming now with Pizzato and Williams. These guys have been battling for a while. A 10-second penalty for car number 19. Is that anyone significant? No, just Yeshan. That'll be for the incident that took out the Ritz car, I believe. Here we go. Pizzato looking to make a move on Williams. He's close, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
I let you know once Brackstad move, because this might be close with Brackstad. Because if Brackstad now comes ahead, he will be leading the race. And he's going now out. And Brackstad makes it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting on the cold tyres. How much is the pace of Brackstad going to be affected for the rest of this lap whilst his tyres warm up? Could we see Brackstad extending his advantage to 2 or 3 seconds here across this lap? But also interesting, both of them have pit relatively early. Here comes Cray. He's cleared his drive-through. He hasn't made a pit stop yet. And he is working to get back inside the top 10, but he's got a long way to go. An easy move for the Audi in a straight line there. Better run out of the previous corner, and then just driving all the way up the Mulsanne, using a bit of the slipstream, gets past the number 15 of Dempsey, who has 10 seconds of penalties as it stands. A single downshift, he's going to go very wide. He would have picked up an official warning for that one, I expect. Here we go, more battles coming here inside the top 8 at the moment, as Pizzato and De Gamer are both looking to get past Williams, but neither of them at the moment able to make much progress.
And as you call it, Brackstad have now over 2 seconds to Brackstad, so really that was a good bit. That was a good stop.
Pizzato comes in. VJ has gone around, seemingly on his own. No one else involved there, I don't think. Dempsey sticking to the back of Cray, but not able to make anything happen at the moment. And crucially, Braxton has managed to get a couple of cars between him and Backstad. That's a 10-second penalty for car number 99.
That's Pippi.
Yes, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. We watched him involved in an incident earlier on as well.
Now it's interesting to see what is the strategy of Christian. So once Tom is out of the championship, it's now Christian who is leading the championship. So, but after this round, it's not gonna be. I call it. And there's stop and go 30 seconds for Pichato.
Yeah, speeding in the pit lane.
Christian spun! Christian spun!
Oh, that's massive. That is massive. Was it a solo spin? I don't know how close cars around him were. Oh, it was. Oh, he's managed not to hit the wall. Brilliant, brilliant driving to stop it from hitting the wall.
And 5 seconds for Mac there, but
those tyres are going to be roasting hot, and I mean roasting hot.
yes, just when I spoke about that, he's gonna lose the championship lead, and then he basically lost the car.
So the gap.
He was right
the gap.
when he said this track is not for him.
Yeah, the gap.
And
to
Christian came in.
The gap between the effective leaders at the moment is 4 seconds between Braxton and Backstad. Currently in P, very relatively low at the moment, 14 and 15. Although they are now going to get past a whole host of cars who will come into the pit lane. It's going to be interesting to see whether these later pit stops help kind of drag some of the cars that were in P4, P5 up the order a little bit. Because, for example, Hermela in the number 24 McLaren, he's still out. We're over halfway through the race now. Well, coming up on. Whoa, we're halfway there, etc., etc. For those of you who are active in Gymcord during F1 races, you'll know the GIF that I'm referencing. But yeah, with coming up to halfway through the race, and Hermela hasn't boxed yet, whereas the two effective leaders, the 75 and the 123 Porsche, they boxed with about 32 minutes left of this race to go. So at the moment, Hermela could come out with what would effectively be 2 lap or 4 minute. No, could come out with what would be 4 lap less used tyres, or about 8 minutes less.
Yeah. And same with, I think we haven't seen all from Perry also. He's gonna make it longer.
Yeah, Perry hasn't boxed either.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see where these guys manage to kind of filter back in with other people have spun, had incidents, bad things have happened. It'll be interesting to see where they all come back out on track at the end of it, and how it works for them. As De Gamer is showed as a yellow flag, it was him coming into the pit lane. So they are the first guys in that top lot that haven't boxed to make the call. 94 has his stop and go 30 seconds cleared. That would have moved him well down the order.
And Mac, yeah, he has the 5 seconds, so. But he's fighting with Kalenko. No, actually not Kalenko pitted. He's fighting with Yeshan.
Oh, what is going on here? Yellow flags showing for Engdahl and Galenko. I want to see what's happened here, because did he try and merge into the... Oh, he did! Oh, wow! What a crazy move. So Engdahl, in the number 23 McLaren, was driving through the pit exit at the same time that Galenko exited the pit lane. Now, it is well known in racing that you, on tracks like this, you can use the pit exit as long as it is safe to do so. It is a valid part of the track to use as long as it is safe and no one else is using it. Note what I'm saying here. Galenko was using the pit lane exit, and therefore that is going to be a penalty, I would expect, for the Engdahl car, number 23.
100%, yeah.
Perry in the pit lane. Perry is in. Oh, and Williams has spun. Williams has spun on his own.
Now, where will Perry drop after this? It's gonna be interesting.
So he's stopping now. When he stopped, his gap was about 25 seconds to Brackstad. He's right at the end of pit lane. So he'll be behind Brackstad and behind Backstad. He's going to be close to Battiglin, I would expect. Close to Battiglin.
Yeah, but now we are seeing again with Perry this. Last week, he was kind of under the... But once he came out of the pit, he went longer, the first stint, and then he came back to track, and then we started to see him fighting with...
Out the pit lane. Yeah, it's going to be about 3 or 4 seconds behind. 5 seconds behind Battiglin, but it's better than what it was. He was...
yeah, and Perry has 5 laps.
No,
better tires.
More than that. I think we're at 6 laps now. 6 lap better tyres. It's been 10 minutes, 11 minutes since the other guys pitted. So yeah, about 6 lap better tyres than
and
everyone in front of him.
Christian with that spin now in P11.
So the big question now will be, where does Hermela come out? And I was right, Engdahl picks up a 20-second penalty for that incident with Galenko. He's now spun on his own, and so has David as well. I believe he's just left the race, actually. We've lost a couple of drivers at the moment. Pippi comes into the pit lane to serve another stop-go 30. He'd already had one. And Hermela's in the pit lane. Here we go. This is where it's going to get interesting. So, before he came into the pit lane, he had about 60 seconds. That's right. He had about a minute to Brackstad, which means that he has about a minute and 15 seconds in hand to Perry. So could Hermela come out? I mean, ideally, he'd want to be close to Battiglin, but we'll have to wait and see. I reckon
it's between Perry and Battiglin, but we have to wait and see.
The number 75 of Brackstad is coming around that final corner. He is going to inherit the race lead, but Hermela hasn't got long left of his pit stop. He's moving now. He might come out. He's got the pit lane limiter that he's got to stay on. It's going to be very tight with Battiglin. I think Battiglin's just going to get him, but it's not going to be by much.
There he comes.
There's Battiglin, so he has come out ahead of Perry. He's got the lap fresher tyres, and he's very close to Battiglin, and he's got a lapped car in between him and Perry. That is massive. That is massive for Hermela. He is on now what would be 7 lap newer tyres compared to the cars in front of him. Those are going to be very, very quick. And when I say very, very quick, I mean 0.8 to a second quicker a lap than the tyres that have had 7 laps of wear put through them. Because to put it in perspective, Brackstad and Backstad have now been driving their current tyres for the same amount of time as they drove their first set of tyres.
Yeah, that's true.
So they are going to be in a lot of pain right now, or they will have driven them for the same amount of time about a lap.
They have to save a bit.
Yeah, and Hermela and Perry don't have to worry about that. You know, they've only got 8 laps till the end. They've just pulled 14 laps on a pair of tyres. 8 laps is nothing.
Yeah, it is not. But actually the temperatures have come a bit down. Now it's 36, and when we started it was 39, but now it's only at 3 tenths. No, 3 temps. So tires still gonna be in hard spot. And yeah. Christian is back in P8.
Interesting that obviously Christian with that spin has cost him quite a few positions there. Or definitely at least one. He would have been ahead of the gamer for sure. Whether he would have been ahead of anyone else is debatable.
I was thinking he would be close to Alem, but now they have 26 seconds of difference. So. And Mac is actually in P19, but he has those 5-second time penalty, which would now drop him into P21.
Yeah, so looking down the order, car 666, that penalty for Mac is because of causing a collision with car 303. And yeah, car 23 picks up a 20-second penalty for causing a collision by not staying on the correct side of the pit lines when car 27 was exiting the pit lane. So that's exactly what I expected it to be.
Yeah. Thinking about Hammer and Perry, I only see they can attack Battling, but Brackstad and Backstad might be a bit too far because, well, I think the laps would, and if they would be seconds faster, they still would need around 10 laps, which we don't have.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. Perry, first of all, is running incredible lap times right now.
Yes,
he's going to run his fastest lap of the race at the moment, which isn't surprising. He's on far lighter fuel than he has been at any point. Hermela not really gaining much on Battling at the moment. It's going to be a good lap time for sure, but it's not going to be what he necessarily would have wanted. The number 21 car picks up a pit lane drive through for track limits.
And now, once again, last time we had this with Perry, now we have this. Now once he and Hammerle is in the same picture, which they are right now, under second. But will they fight? Because if they do, they basically gifting Battling a P3.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, does Hermela recognise that Perry is faster and let him by? And then let Perry drag him to Battling?
Yeah, because Battling is 4 seconds away, and example for Brackstad, they have 14 seconds, which is too much.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, they're not going to contend. They won't get past Battling, but getting to Battling is achievable with 15 minutes left to go if Perry goes to the front of this train. Because at the moment, Perry is 6/10 faster a lap.
Yeah, they need to play this really smart, because if Hammerle and Perry starts now to fight, it's 10 they won't get Battling.
Yeah, and Perry is only going faster. He's 6/10, 7/10 up at the moment, 8/10 up on his current lap time. He'd be setting a 55.0, which would be the second fastest lap of the race, full stop, if he was to set this lap time. In fact, he would now be setting the fastest lap time of the race, as he's currently a second up. As soon as I say that, he immediately loses it. But my point is that Hermela not really gaining on Battling at the moment. He is, but not by significant amounts. 2 or 3 tenths.
Not too much.
Although saying
because
that, Battling is making mistakes now. Battling making a mistake, it's cost him about a second there. The gap now 2.4, it was 3.6. And Hermela is maybe just being a little bit, kinder on tyres, A 154 would probably be considered on the brink of being too fast for the rookie series, yeah. The guys who are running in like the 56s are kind of more where we're expecting people to be in terms of pace. But we've got other stuff. For example, the multi-class championship that's happening tomorrow is also brilliant. That's a 45-minute race with GT3s and GT4s, and we've got a high level of competitiveness there. So if you feel that your pace might be a little bit too much for rookies, get signed up for the multi-class championship. It's fantastic. It has been so enjoyable so far, hasn't it, Julius? We've loved that championship.
Yeah, we loved that. And last week, me and you would have a good battle, but then you had to double drive through, so...
Yeah,
but now, coming back to this, Perry is going.
Perry He looks like he's going to go for it, but now that he's pulled out of that slipstream, he's losing a little bit of his top end. Does he manage to keep it ahead? I think he is going to stay ahead of the McLaren. The McLaren is going to try and hold it up the inside. Why would you do that? Perry is going to go off track. He doesn't invalidate. Well, he didn't invalidate. That's a valid overtake, as far as the game's aware. Yeah. Beautiful move from Perry.
And Hammerley played that smart. He didn't necessarily put the car in there, because that would have had ended horrible.
Too early in the day for you. Are you in? I'm going to assume you're in America then. Redundant. I'm going to assume you're in America if these races are too early for you, because we try and put them in the evening so that everyone can do them. But obviously, being a UK-based league and UK and EU run, that is where we try and focus our times. Because Alabama, yeah. Because as much as we'd love people from across the pond to be able to join, we wouldn't be able to start racing until like 10 PM for someone from Alabama to join. And that would mean that the guys who are in Central Europe wouldn't be finishing their races until gone midnight, you know? So, yeah, it's just, unfortunately, it's difficult to play to everyone's fields.
Yeah. It's coming 11 in 5 minutes time here, so...
Yeah, exactly. Now, interestingly enough, Perry has taken that gap down to 1.8 seconds in just the 2 sectors that he has been ahead of Hermela. Hermela is managing to stick with Perry at the moment, so this is going to rapidly turn into a 3-way battle for P3, and the late pit stop has absolutely worked for Perry so far. Thank you, Redundant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant to hear that you're enjoying it. Obviously, if you guys are enjoying the content that we're putting out, please make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, do all of those good things. Put the word out there about TOGA. You know, we're one of the fastest growing sim racing communities at the moment. We're currently the most followed PC only group on simgrid. We've got all sorts of crazy brilliant events coming up in the next 6 months that we've got penciled into the books. It's going to be it's going to be fabulous. You know, live stewarding, the racing quality is always good. Generally, the driving standards are really great as well. As Battiglin makes another mistake, here we go. This is Perry's opportunity. He's going to be within a second coming out of this final corner. Indeed he is. He's flirting on the edge of that second, and Hermela is right there as well. This is going to be a 3-way battle now with 10 minutes to go for the final place. Where are the BRT cars? Number 7 of Adrianson currently sits in P12, and the number 6 is right behind in P13. The same positions that you guys were occupying last time out at Silverstone, I have a funny feeling. But yeah, not a bad race from the BRT boys. They've had a couple of small contacts. A drive-through for one of them, I think, and as you can see on the front of Ritz's car, a little bit banged up on the front of that Aston Martin. But so far from the BRT boys, a really strong race for you guys in the Aston Martin at a track that isn't really suited to it.
Olly, what do you think? Should we do a driver of the day voting?
I would love to, but I genuinely don't know how to set it up unless I'm a mod, and I'm not a mod. We'd need to get someone else to do it, I think, is the issue. Because I don't know how.
Who would you say is your driver of the day?
I think it's difficult. I think, you know, the guys at the front haven't put a foot wrong. Christian has had a crazy comeback drive. Perry and Hermela have nailed their strategy and are now looking to take home possibly a podium come the end of this race, you know? So it's a really difficult choice. I think, personally, for me, I would probably say that it's Perry. He's come from P9. He just hauled it long on the tyres.
Yeah, and he's probably taking P3.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's a good choice. Oh, 888 has spun.
Yeah, Forza Lalim. Yeah, I've seen that. I did pan to him. I think he was on his own. I don't think there are any cars around him. As Cray and De Gamer are having a battle here. Cray's going to get that move done in the 8 Audi, the Kick-sponsored car. That move is done. But more importantly, Perry is 6/10 off the back of Battleglin. If these guys start fighting, Hermela is going to get invited in to join this scrap before too much longer. At the moment, it's only two-way, but it could be more. Car number 46 is disqualified. That's VJ. Yeah, he's been doing all sorts of crazy driving on track. I'm not surprised that he's been disqualified. But looking back up here, the gap now a second. We could just see Brackstead in the green and black number 75 Porsche going through the back of shot onto the Mulsanne there. Shows you just how far ahead he is. A couple of corners. Here we go, the Ferrari of Perry looking for the better run onto the straight. The BMW, it is a block in a straight line.
Yeah.
It's going to be giving so much toe to Perry.
Faster. Yeah. But now Perry needs to play it smart. He just can't push it. He has the time on his side. He has the tires on his side.
Yeah, absolutely.
He just gotta play this now smart. Last week he was in the same position. He didn't have a penalty, but then he made a penalty with Vuorinen. He made contact with Vuorinen, who had penalty, and that ruined kind of bit of boats, and that led Hammerly to get past.
Here we go, Perry. He's exploring, he's looking, he's finding out where Battleglin is struggling. He's trying different lines, he's trying to sneak up the inside, he's sitting in Battleglin's mirrors, just letting him know that he's there. Battleglin knows, of course, that Perry is behind him, and this could be where we see the move, just 3/10 behind now. If they start holding each other up too much, Hermela is going to get on the back of this battle very quickly, but at the moment he's not quite able to. He gained a couple of tenths on the guys in front last time out. But Perry looking to find a way through. The BMW is good through this first sector. It's the second sector where it's really, really weak. The straight line speed just not falling on the big old M4's side.
I reckon it happening pretty much now.
I have a funny feeling it'll happen down the Mulsanne here. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
The Ferrari sets it up for a better run onto the Mulsanne. It's almost contact,
yeah, he
but
was
it's not
almost,
quite.
yeah.
2/10 is the gap. Perry is in that slipstream. He's rooted in that slipstream. He's going to be moving past Battleglin, I would expect. Although actually, I think being so close to him has led to him having a worse run overall. The gap is still 2/10. He's not making as much time on this BMW as I would have expected.
Now going side by side.
He goes to the outside. Battleglin has a little bit of lag. Perry just tucks in for now. He's not going to get the move done quite yet, and this is where Hermela's going to start gaining time, is when these guys start exploring.
And now around the outside, no.
Almost goes deep, does Perry, and this is where Hermela's going to come in. Watch out, these guys exploring alternative lines, going side by side, holding each other up. Hermela isn't. He is taking the fastest line through these corners. He's going to be finding time, and he's now within a second of Perry, or almost. He's dropping out a little bit now. It's a bit to and fro. But this is rapidly, in the last 5 minutes, turning into a three-way battle for this final podium spot, which for Perry would gain a massive championship points haul, but so would be the same for Battleglin, finishing P9 last time out, not really deserving for the pace that we saw. But here we go. Yeah, a second now covering these three cars. 4 minutes to go. How badly do Battleglin's tyres drop off towards the end of this race?
I think Battleglin stopped too early. That's causing the problem.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think he did. Perry is all over the back of that M4 right now.
And now Hammerley is joining the party.
Yeah, Hermela's right there. Perry almost goes to look up the inside through this long right-hander onto the Mulsanne, but he doesn't quite make it work.
It can honestly be any one of these three too.
Here we go. Hermela is closer to Perry than Perry is to Battleglin.
Yeah, Hermela actually have the best run out there.
No,
Is Hermela gonna try to pass Perry?
Yeah, Hermela just a tenth behind Perry now. I think they're all going to stay in this order through the fast right-hander this time out.
Watch Hammerle.
Hammerle maybe. No, not quite this time out by the looks of things. Oh, Perry gets a little bit
Oh, he's
sideways.
coming.
Hammerle goes up the inside there, side by side. Is Hammerle going to get through to P4 this time?
Perry's
Oh, there's
still going.
almost contact, but I think Hammerle's got that move done.
Yeah, Hammerle got it.
Although he goes deep now, Perry might be able to get on the power better towards the final corner.
And now this helps Pateron, because these two are dropping back.
Yeah, it absolutely does help Pateron. And this is what you've got to think
Quite
about
much.
when you're this close to other cars. Is it worth your time to battle, or is it better to just lay off and let what happens? As Cray gets past Christian. Cray in the number 8 Audi, although Christian is fighting this back. Oh, there's contact, side to side contact, and a little bit more. Both of those cars go off. Christian is going to hold the position, I think, as Galengo does his best to get out of their way. Looking forwards again, Hammerle. Oh, Hammerle goes round! Hammerle goes round! Hammerle's round! He's going to lose that position. He might... I don't know how quickly he can get it turned around. He won't lose position to Foles Alim. But Perry now has just one lap left to try and make this move happen. He's over a second away. I think him getting a little bit sideways and letting Hammerle through has ended his chance of a podium here. I don't think he's going to get one. Perry is going to have to throw everything at it right now, but I don't think it's going to happen. Christian stays ahead of Cray, but not for much longer. I think this will be where we see a position change.
But Cray have done a fantastic job. He had to drive through from the start, and he dropped down the back, and now he's in P8. Because he had to drive through in speeding in the start. So well done from him. Clean will get the P3. And now we're on the final lap.
Cray has got ahead of Christian.
Yeah.
One lap of racing left, and I don't think Perry's going to be able to make anything happen this time, unfortunately. Pateron pulling away in a straight line. Pateron maybe has saved his tyres for these last couple of laps, which is why he's dropped away from the guys in front.
But Brackstad and Backstad, great job. Not too much speed in the cameras. Actually nothing to show. Good pace. Clean drive. Well done.
Yeah, I don't think Perry's going to be close enough. The gap's 8/10. But unless he has the final sector of his life, I don't think Perry is going to be able to get on the podium here. It's disappointing for him, but P4 is a step up from where he finished last time out.
That is, yes. And also, seems like Mac is going to have a bit fight with Gregory, because Mac has the 5 second and the gap is now 4.6. So there's still a chance that Mac takes the P18.
Interesting to see. Backstad getting out the way, I think, of Mac there, although Mac now gets back out the way of Backstad. I think Backstad was trying to let Mac fight, but in the end...
But here comes Brackstad and he wins this race.
Yeah.
Great drive from him.
Brilliant.
And P2
Brilliant
coming
drive.
to... Yes.
Backstad comes to the line.
And Pateron, Perry is close, but it's enough for Pateron to take the P3.
Yeah, a
It's
massive
really, like
turnaround.
you said, yeah, like you said in the beginning, he's really from last season to this season, he's done a great job. And Hammerle takes the P5. And now coming in P6 is Fachul Alem.
Yeah, Fazul Alim crosses the line. He goes in P6 with Cray in that kick Audi. I believe he qualified He qualified P5, I think, in the end.
Yeah.
So unfortunate
And
for
he
him.
had the drive-through.
Yeah, he had the drive-through, which was really unfortunate. Let's have a look.
Yeah, and still in P6, which is great. Oh, P7, sorry. And that actually means that Bragstad will take the championship lead.
So, I need to get Brackstead and Backstad. We got all the Bs on the server at the moment.
Yeah, Bragstad, Backstad, Bataklin.
Triple B on the podium.
Yeah, we can drop this name.
Bataglin.
Jesus, actually.
Views, please.
Bragstad fastest lap 154.9.
0.9. Yeah, I know. Mental.
Oh, jeez.
Mental pace.
Yeah.
It was yeah, quite impressive at the end of it. So yeah, overall that is your final running order. The Brackstad Backstad duo coming in strong again, the 75 and the 123, with Bataglin riding out the podium in the 403 BMW. Quite thankful, I expect, for the fact that Hermela and Perry ended up having a little bit of a battle, because I'm about 90% confident that if Hermela hadn't overtaken Perry, that Bataglin would not be standing on the podium as he is at the moment. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move to the interview screen now, and we are going to be getting some of our drivers in who have had brilliant results to talk to us. And the first of them is going to be Bruno Bataglin, a man who deserved the world in Silverstone with the pace that he showed. But unfortunately it didn't come together. But this time here at Paul Ricard, the man who drives the 403 BMW has come through strong and puts it in P3 on the podium. Bruno, how was that race for you? Bruno? Bruno, are you there? Oh no. Bruno's joined, but he's having mic issues. Okay, I tell you what we'll do is we'll move Bruno out the chat, and for now we'll talk to we'll talk to our race winner.
Race win. Yes.
Samuel Brackstad in the number 75 Porsche. I mean, a brilliant race from you. The pace was incredible. You didn't lose the lead at any point, apart from through the pit cycle. An early pit stop was a strategy I was surprised to see you pulling, but you timed it perfectly, dropped into a bundle of clear air, and let the pace on the new tyres pull you forwards from the guys who did a later pit stop. How was that race from your point of view, Samuel?
For me, it was amazing. I mean, I messed up the fuels like at the pit early, but it did go very well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because sometimes those kind of mistakes ends up actually being a bonus. You think, oh god, I've made such a massive mistake with the fueling, this is going to mess up my whole race, and then actually pitting early worked really well for you. Did you expect that, or were you thinking, oh god, I've messed up my whole race?
Yeah, I was thinking like I messed up everything. I was like so afraid to lose all the positions.
Yeah, and then at the end of it, the pace was just so strong that you managed to just pull away. There was no real battling. Backstad, your almost namesake Porsche mate, was on your tail for the first few laps, but after that the gap just opened and opened and opened, and you set the fastest lap of the race as well with a 54.9. Just crazy pace from you.
Yeah, I've done a lot of practice the week, so I could get some performance out of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I mean, it showed because your pace was just incredible. You didn't put a foot wrong the whole race. You know, looking forward to next week. Where are we next week? Let's have a look. Hold on, let me find out. TOGA. TOGA Motorsport, TOGA Motorsport, TOGA Motorsport, TOGA Motorsport. No. No. Yes. TOGA Motorsport. Round 3. Oh, it's at Indianapolis. Do you think that's going to be a good track for you, or do you think it might be one where you're slightly weaker?
No, I actually have a great pace at Indianapolis. I done a lot of races lately on the track.
Oh, well, that's
So
good to hear.
I feel kind of strong on that track.
Absolutely. Well, Julius, anything else to add or question?
I would like to say to Samuel, well done, great race. You're leading the championship. I mean, you did everything right, and you deserve this one.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the best of luck next week. I hope that we get to see you in the comms box again after what's hopefully another very clean and very fast race from you. Thanks for joining us, Sam.
Appreciate it. Bye.
So next up, we're going to speak to Magnus Backstad, who finished P2. I promise you, they are different people. There is a letters difference in their last name. They drive the same car, the Porsche, but they have very, very different driving styles, and that was obvious on track today. Backstad, you maximised the race today. Unfortunately, Brackstad in the other Porsche was just a little bit too fast, but overall, you know, P2 is an amazing result. How do you feel?
Well, I didn't feel like I held on to my tires very well at the start, and I just kept slipping on back further and further every single lap. Braxton really got some good pace. I'm jealous of him.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, he is just incredibly quick. It just doesn't stop, you know. I saw one of his laps. He did like a 55-1, and I was like, damn, that's really quick. Surely that will be the fastest lap of the race. And then the next lap he did a 54-9, and I was like, well, so much for that then. But yeah, at the start of the race, I said that I felt that the Porsche would be one of the harder cars to drive around this track. But you and Braxton really just showed that I was completely wrong. Essentially, you did an absolutely brilliant job managing the pace and managing the race overall. The early pit stop was something that I didn't expect to see either. Was that something you had planned, or did you make a mistake on fueling?
I just my tires at the end of the first stint were like gone, completely gone. So I didn't want to lose too much time from the undercut when I saw Braxton pitted. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking forward to next week, we're at the Indianapolis track. Do you feel that that's a strong track for you, or is it one where you might struggle a bit?
I don't know. I've never driven a lap there yet.
Okay, that'll be an interesting one. Right, you've got 7 days starting now to get some practice in. But yeah, I mean, I very much hope to see you here again next week. Julius, do you have anything to add?
I would just say fantastic job. You keep it clean. You didn't do anything stupid, and yeah, P2 well deserved.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. A massive congratulations, Magnus. We hope to see you back here next week at the end of what I'm sure is going to be another brilliant race in Indianapolis. Thanks a lot for joining us.
See you.
And now we are going to talk to Bruno Battaglin, who I hope has sorted his mic issues. Obviously, when he last joined, I said that his pace in Silverstone was far more deserving than the position he ended up in. Due to an issue at the start that meant he started in the pit lane. But this race, Bruno Battaglin in the number 403 BMW has really pulled through and has finished on the podium. Bruno, a brilliant race from you.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, it was just, the pace was incredible. I think looking back to Silverstone a week ago, you cut through the field so quickly, and your pace was really, really great there. So I shouldn't be surprised that you finished on the podium. But the pace was really, really great. Did you think that you might have been able to stick with the guys in the Porsches, or do you just think that the pace that this was the maximum for you?
I feel like I could be a little bit better. I was struggling in some turns. I didn't have much time to practice for this track this week. So, unfortunately, this fell on me now. But at the beginning of the race, I thought I could keep the pace, but they got like some distance and I lost the draft and keep behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Julius, do you have any questions to ask Bruno?
No, I would. Well, I would like to ask him, how do you think about getting into Indianapolis next week?
I have 7 days to practice that because I'm completely raw in Indianapolis. I have to learn all the track, but I feel confident. I think at least top 10. Surely I will be there.
Yeah,
We will
absolutely.
be waiting to see.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. I hope. No, come on, Julius, you continue.
after these two races we've seen from you, first when you started in the pit lane and gained into P9, and now this, I mean, you are really one to watch. I mean, from how you evolved from last season to this season, I'm really happy for you, mate. I'm really happy for you.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
absolutely. And as much as Indianapolis might be a new track for you, I really hope that come the end of next week, come the end of next Wednesday's race, we will be seeing you back here in the comms box again, because you are such a brilliant driver and a driver who's made so much progression over the last couple of rookie seasons that it'd be brilliant to see you back in this comms box again.
Oh, for sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us, Bruno. Have a good rest of your night.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that draws to an end our Rookie Wednesday stream here at TOGA Motorsports. Thank you very much, Julius, for joining me in the comms box this evening.
Thank you. The pleasure is on my side.
I mean, it has been a mental race, one filled with brilliant racing, comeback stories, penalties, close battles right to the very end, especially for some of the big hitting positions. The battle for P3 did not die in that final 10 minutes. And this is the kind of thing that we expect from TOGA Motorsports every week, and every week it delivers. So, ladies and gentlemen, I already did a quick run through what the rest of our schedule is for this week, but I'm going to hit you with it again, just so that you guys can make sure to be back here on the YouTube channel when all of the brilliant racing that we've got to offer kicks off. So obviously we've just finished the Rookie Wednesday stream tonight. Tomorrow night, starting at 7:45 p.m. British Summer Time, is the multi-class season 2 stream in the race in which myself and Julius are taking part. Then on Friday night at 7:30 p.m. British Summer Time, we have got the inaugural round of the Porsche Cup happening here at TOGA Motorsports. And looking forwards then to Sunday, we've got the 24 in 2.4 series, which hopefully will be streamed. Unfortunately, it's quite a commitment to stay up that late, so at the moment it's a bit hit to miss whether we're able to stream it with commentary or whether it's just a standard cycle camera, but hopefully it will be up. So make sure to join us for all of that racing goodness, and we will see you all next week. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Thank you. Bye bye.